We're live and we're talking about failure today. How about that? It's an incredible subject that I want to frame it properly. Failure is not defeat, it's just a data point. Today's presentation is about lesson number 14 from Napoleon Hill's book, The Law of Success. I've said this before, but just to highlight the fact the law of success. Number one, a law, singular. And within the law of success, he has 17 lessons. This is number 14, failure. So Napoleon Hill reframes failure as a temporary experience, not a permanent identity, and argues that most failures occur not because of lack of ability, but because of lack of persistence, clarity, and self-discipline. He teaches that failure is often a necessary teacher, exposing weak plans, unfocused desire, a fear of criticism, or indecision. Those who succeed, according to Hill, learn to analyze failure without emotional attachment, extracts its lessons or data points, and re-enter action with improved strategy and renewed determination. In fact, Hill says failure is not the opposite of success. It is the tuition paid for wisdom and clarity and mastery. I have a number of points here I'll make and then just proceed to the bottom line. Failure is an event, not an identity. Hill indicates that failure only becomes permanent when we accept it as final. That is defeat. Most people quit psychologically before they quit physically. Nature matters, language matters. Saying I failed versus that attempt fails. It's about the attempt, not about the person. And leaders separate self-worth from outcomes. That's very important to remember. Lack of persistence is the root of most failure. Be persistent. Talent without persistence rarely wins. Boy, think about that on the football field. But just finished Super Bowl. Temporary defeat feels final to the undisciplined mind. Persistence grows through habit, not motivation, and great achievement has a nearly quit moment. There's a movie out there, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was about persistence and a young man going to the goal line from the, I don't know, maybe it was a 20-yard line. The coach was on his back, literally, and the kid was blindfolded. And the kid kept going and going and going and finally got across the goal line, pointing to the fact that sometimes we don't know where the goal line is. Certainly, we need to keep on keeping on. Failure reveals weakness in the plan, not the person. Poor planning masquerades as personal inadequacy. I've said before that one of the many statements that Dwight D. Eisenhower said as a commander of the Allied forces in Europe during World War II, planning is worthless. No, plans are worthless. Planning is priceless. So you got to be doing planning. Planning is incredibly important. And in fact, planning continues through the entire process. I was talking with one of my colleagues who happens to be a nurse, and we were talking about the COVID situation, talking about a fluid situation and continuously planning and changing the rules and finding out what's working in other organizations is really something that happened. So poor planning masquerades as personal inadequacy. It's not. It's just poor planning. Go back to planning stage. It's necessary. Failure exposes blind spots, assumptions, and shortcuts. Feedback is hidden inside the disappointment. Nobody wants to fail. And in successful people revise plans. This saying is one I really like. It's not about winning or losing. It's about winning or learning. Now, okay, if there's a winner, there's a loser in terms of the W's and L's. But if you look at the football concept, the losers found out more than the winners did, because the losers have to go back and say, how did we lose? How did we lose those several points that appeared obvious for us? Fourth point is fear is failure's favorite accomplishment. Fear of criticism paralyzes action. Fear of loss keeps people playing small. I'd rather play small and win than play big and not win. Fear disguises itself as being unrealistic. Fear disguises itself as being realistic. Fear is not a good thing, and encourages acting before confidence arrives. Finally, the last point, failure is a test of character and self-discipline. How we respond to failure defines our leadership maturity. Emotional reactions cloud learning. Discipline allows analysis instead of blame. And those who master failure master themselves. So the conclusion, Hill's central truth is this: failure is inevitable to anyone attempting something meaningful, but defeat is optional. The difference between those who rise and those who retreat is not intelligence or luck or resources, it's their ability to remain disciplined, persistence, and curious. In the presence of disappointment, failure is not a signal to stop. It's a signal to refine. And if you don't believe me, ask Thomas Edison. That's it for today. Look forward to talking with you a little bit more. If you'd be interested in talking with me, it's 505-706-2868. It's 505-706-2868. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. Or you can go to our website. Our website is Wake Up Your Genius. Wake Up Your Genius. It's a good opportunity to talk to me about what you got going on. If you need a speaker, I'm available. If you need a trainer, I'm available. If you need some coaching, I'm available. God bless you. Have an excellent day. Have an excellent week. Have an excellent recovery, especially if you were a Patriot fan and had some good money on the game. God bless you.